There's something happening right now that you need to know about. Someone in your life is about to break, and when they do, everything between you is going to change. You might think you know what's coming, but trust me, the way this unfolds is going to surprise you. This isn't just another reading about someone who likes you. This is about someone who has been fighting an internal war, and they're about to lose that battle in the most beautiful way possible. Right now, as you're reading this, there is someone who thinks about you when the room goes quiet, someone who replays your voice in their head during moments they should be focused on something else entirely. They've been holding back, trying to stay composed, trying to convince themselves that what they feel is temporary or manageable. But here's the thing about feelings that run this deep: they don't fade, they intensify. Every day they try to suppress it. It grows stronger, more persistent, more impossible to ignore. It's like heat building under the skin, and they're reaching the breaking point. This person never wanted something casual with you. They never saw you as a temporary distraction, or maybe from the very beginning, they saw forever. They saw their entire life unfolding with you in it. You are their type in every sense of the word, and they feel something with you that they know they'll never feel with anyone else, that terrifies them and pulls them forward at the same time. They want you desperately, almost crazily, and they're starting to panic because they feel like time is running out. They're afraid that if they wait any longer, they'll miss their chance completely. Someone else might come into your life, or you might move on emotionally, or the window might just close forever. So they're rushing now, not in a reckless way, but with urgency. They've decided that no matter what happens, no matter how scared they are of rejection, they're going to tell you the truth. They're going to confess what they've been carrying in their heart, and they're done thinking about the outcome. They're done calculating risks. They're ready to be vulnerable, and that kind of courage doesn't come from nowhere. It comes from reaching a point where holding back feels more painful than the possibility of being turned away. This person has tried everything to move on from you. They've stayed busy, thrown themselves into distractions, maybe even tried to convince themselves they could feel this way about someone else, but it didn't work. In fact, it made everything worse because deep down they'd already chosen you. Their heart had already made the decision, even if their mind was still fighting it, and now the fight is over. They've grown accustomed to you in ways they can't undo. You've become part of their emotional landscape, and trying to remove you from it would be like trying to forget how to breathe. Something is going to happen soon, very soon. It could be tomorrow, it could be the day after, but the energy around this is so charged, so imminent that you're going to feel it before it even happens. Some of you might already be sensing it. There's a shift in the air, a tension that hasn't been there before. You might notice the way this person looks at you now, how conversations feel heavier with meaning, how their presence around you feels different, almost electric. That's because something unspoken is pressing against the surface, trying to break through. For many of you, tomorrow is going to be significant. I don't say this lightly. Tomorrow feels like a turning point, a marker, the beginning of a new phase. You might get a message that carries more weight than usual. You might have a conversation that changes everything. You might receive confirmation you've been waiting for, whether it's about love, a job opportunity, a creative project, or even news about starting a family. Whatever it is, tomorrow has this energy of revelation attached to it. Something that's been building in the background is about to step into the light. Now let's talk about why this is happening to you specifically. You didn't chase this. You didn't beg for attention or twist yourself into someone you're not to be more appealing. What you did was something far more powerful. You turned your energy inward. You stopped chasing people, stopped people pleasing, stopped performing for validation. And that shift, that reclaiming of your own power, has done something extraordinary. It brought this person to their knees. When you were the one showing interest, when you were the one leaning in, they could afford to hold back. But the moment you pulled your energy back and started focusing on yourself, everything changed. They noticed, they felt the absence of your attention like a physical loss, and now they're the ones who can't stop thinking about you. Now they're the ones feeling restless, unsettled, desperate to close the distance between you. You carry yourself differently now. There's a quiet confidence in you that doesn't need to announce itself. You don't over explain your worth. You don't shrink to make other people comfortable. You don't chase validation because you've learned to validate yourself. And that kind of self assuredness is magnetic in a way that nothing else can be. People feel it when they're around you. They sense that you're grounded, that you know who you are, that you're not easily swayed or impressed. This person finds that incredibly attractive, but it's more than just attraction. It's fascination mixed with longing, curiosity mixed with attachment, respect mixed with desire. They see you as a mystery they want to unravel, not in a manipulative way, but in a genuinely curious way. There's depth to you that they haven't fully accessed yet, and that makes them want to know you more. Every time they think they've figured you out, you reveal another layer, and that keeps them hooked. You have knowledge, interests, perspectives that intrigue them. When you share something you're passionate about, they don't feel threatened or inferior. They feel inspired. They admire the way your mind works. They appreciate the fact that you have your own world, your own thoughts, your own richness of experience. Many people would feel competitive or insecure around that, but this person feels the opposite. They feel honored that you'd share pieces of yourself with them. Your energy feels selective now, and that's what's creating urgency in them. You're not someone who gives your time and attention to just anyone anymore. You're intentional about who you let into your inner world, and they sense that. They know that if they don't act soon, they might lose the opportunity to be close to you in the way they want. That fear is what's driving them forward. Not fear in a panic sense, but fear of regret, fear of looking back and wishing they'd been braver. So here's what's about to happen. This person is going to reach out. They've made plans, they've done the mental preparation, and they're not backing down now. It might come as a message that feels heavier than usual. It might be a conversation that starts casual but quickly shifts into something deeper. It might be a confession disguised as a joke at first, then becoming real. Whatever form it takes, you're going to feel the intention behind it. You're going to know that this isn't just friendly banter or casual interest. This is someone laying their cards on the table. For those of you who have been waiting for clarity, this is it. This is the confirmation you've been asking the universe for. If you've had a crush on someone and you've been wondering if they feel the same way, the answer is yes, they do. They've just been terrible at showing it. But that's changing now. They finally found the courage to stop pretending, to stop hiding behind casual interactions and surface level conversations. They're ready to be real with you. And here's the beautiful part, this isn't coming from desperation, this is coming from certainty. They've crossed a line internally where they're no longer questioning whether they feel something. They're questioning how much they're willing to reveal, how vulnerable they're willing to be, how honest they can afford to get. And they've decided that the risk is worth it. You're worth it. This desire they feel for you has weight. It's not a fleeting crush that will disappear in a few weeks. It's not surface level attraction that fades once the novelty wears off. This is the kind of feeling that rearranges priorities, the kind that shows up in quiet moments when there's nothing left to distract them. When they're alone with their thoughts, your image doesn't feel distant. It feels present, alive, almost more real than reality itself. They think about you in stillness when their guard is down. And in those moments, they don't just think about what you look like or how you make them feel in passing. They think about what it would be like to build a life with you. They imagine conversations at 3 in the morning, lazy Sunday mornings, shared silences that feel comfortable, moments of intimacy that go far beyond the physical. They see you as someone they could grow with, someone who challenges them, someone who makes them want to be better. There's a tension in them now that's almost unbearable. Not anxiety exactly, but a charge and aliveness. They feel pulled toward you, not just emotionally, but energetically. Your presence grounds them. Your energy feels steady and calm, but also powerful. And that combination is intoxicating. You don't overwhelm them, but you don't bore them either. You create a kind of balance that's rare, and they know it. They're drawn to how you hold yourself, how you speak with intention, how you don't over explain or seek validation. You've become someone people feel rather than just look at, and that makes the attraction so much deeper than physical. Yes, they want to touch you, but more than that, they want to understand you. They want access to your world, your thoughts, your inner landscape. There's a curiosity about you that feels almost reverent, like they sense that your energy is something that shouldn't be rushed or mishandled. They feel protective of this connection before it even has a name, not possessive in a controlling way, but protective in a respectful way. They don't want anyone else to misunderstand you or take your softness for granted. They don't want anyone else to access the depth they feel when they're with you. And that creates an intensity in how they show up around you now. You might have noticed they're more attentive lately. They remember small details about things you've said. They listen differently, respond more thoughtfully. They're present in a way they weren't before. That's because when someone carries desire this deep, they don't skim the surface. They absorb, they pay attention, they become attuned to you in ways that feel almost instinctive. It's not something they're doing to impress you, it's become their natural state when they're around you. This desire feels patient, not rushed or impulsive. It's something that's been growing under the surface for a while, and now it's finally becoming visible. Not necessarily through a dramatic confession, though that might happen too, but through unmistakable intention. You'll feel it in the way they engage with you, in the seriousness of their tone, in the way their energy feels closer than it did before. They're not testing the waters anymore, they're stepping in, and it's going to be deliberate. The longer they've held this in, the harder it's become to pretend it's nothing. Their restraint has been an act of respect, not disinterest. Their silence has been a form of protection, not absence. And now the energy is shifting. What they feel wants a voice, it wants expression. And they're finally ready to give it that. At the same time, your own energy has been evolving. You've become more selective with who gets your time. You're more intentional about what you invest in emotionally. You're more grounded in your sense of self worth. You don't rush connections anymore. You let them unfold naturally. And that's why the attention you're receiving now feels different. It's more sincere, more serious, more meaningful. This person doesn't want to approach you casually. They want to approach you thoughtfully. They want you to feel the depth in their presence. They want resonance, not just attraction. They want to build something real, something lasting. And they're finally ready to show you that. Beyond love, your energy is shifting in other areas too. Your relationship with money feels clearer. Opportunities are aligning with your values. Decisions feel more intentional. You're not scattered anymore, you're aligned. And people can feel that. The person who desires you senses that you're not easily swayed, that you're not emotionally careless, and that makes them respect you even more. Something magnificent is unfolding. An old chapter is ending. A phase that you prayed would be over is finally complete. You've come full circle, and now a blank slate is opening in front of you. Love is blossoming. The person you wanted to confess is going to confess. The crush you had is about to become something real. The uncertainty is about to transform into clarity. You've always been the secret hope they thought they could let go of, but the universe had other plans. They tried to move on, they tried to convince themselves they could feel this way about someone else, but it didn't work. Instead, their feelings for you intensified. And when they realized they couldn't stand the thought of you being with someone else, when that realization started driving them crazy, they finally understood. It's now or never. They're not trying to impress you, they're trying to be understood by you, and that makes everything more intimate. They want to belong with you. They believe you belong with them too. They're going crazy over the powerful influence you have over them. They never thought you'd impact them this heavily, but here they are, completely undone by you. Your confidence has stabilized. You move through life with quiet certainty. You don't overextend yourself emotionally or financially. You choose with intention. Your boundaries are respected. Your presence carries authority without effort. You feel more grounded in your direction. You're not chasing growth anymore. You're embodying it. And when you embody stability, life meets you there. Money flows more steadily because you're no longer operating from urgency. You make decisions from clarity, not pressure. You trust your instincts. Your world feels like it's organizing itself around your energy. Love deepens. Finances steady. Your sense of self strengthens. You don't feel scattered, you feel centered. And the person who desires you feels all of this. That's why they're determined to make you their future spouse. They want you right beside them. They don't want to spend a single day without you. They brag about you behind your back. They're growing crazy over you intimately, emotionally, energetically. They know you're not easily impressed, that you're not emotionally careless. If they want access to your inner world, they have to show up with sincerity. And they know that. That's why their confession is going to feel inevitable. When someone feels this level of attraction mixed with respect, they don't stay silent forever. The truth leans forward. Maybe not aggressively, not desperately, but honestly, and you'll recognize it immediately. This confirmation doesn't come from desperation, it comes from certainty. They've crossed a line internally. They're no longer questioning if they feel something, they're deciding how much they're willing to reveal. What they feel for you has weight. It isn't fleeting, it isn't surface level. It's the kind of desire that rearranges priorities, that lingers in the body, that shows up in quiet moments when there's nothing left to distract. And in those moments, the image of you doesn't feel distant. It feels present, alive, more real than anything else. Tomorrow marks something bigger. The truth is leaning forward. The energy is charged, the confirmation is coming, and what you're attracting now isn't random, it's responsive to who you've become. The next chapter is already unfolding, and it's going to be more beautiful than you imagined.